Welcome, welcome, welcome to Shiftology Live. I'm your host, Terry Wildemann, and I'm the founder of Shiftology and Intuitive Leadership. This show is where high achieving leaders come to share the real stories behind their most powerful shifts, the pivots, the wake up calls, the breakthroughs that changed everything. Each episode, we explore what it means to lead with soul, to grow with passion, and to reconnect with the truth that lives in our hearts. Today's guest is someone whose story aligns with that mission. I'd like to introduce you to Tessa Lynne Alburn. 40 years plus in selling everything from SCUBA classes to high ticket transformational packages. Tessa teaches coaches the sales skills their certification schools forgot. And boy, isn't that true? Authentic scripts that actually enroll clients. Because sales conversions aren't coaching sessions, you can't succeed with someone else's script. That sounds amazing, Tessa.
Yes, I had to learn the hard way, Terry, and you probably did too. But right, so many failures in turn or feeling like a failure. Certainly, I can't do it. What's wrong with me? I'll never be charismatic. I'm an introvert. I don't know how to sell, just all the negative programming. But then the inconsistent results when trying to sell, because I would make some major mistakes that I finally realized what I was doing, but I wasn't getting that awareness from following other people's scripts. And I was throwing money at big programs, right? Paying a lot of money out and all this stuff and learning a lot of things. But none of those things actually worked fully, right? Like I would have a couple sales, but not consistent. I was like, why is that? It's working for that person. And I started to really get that the big picture was missing and I was missing. Like I was missing from that script. My method, my shifts, my steps, my cycle of transformation, the way that I relate to people, right? All of that was not in those words. And I had to look at how do I embed that into my own script and have consistent results. And then there were many other pieces as well that I needed to learn. All the stuff before the call, all the stuff after the call, all these things.
During the call, right.
Yeah, it's especially during, because we think it's supposed to be just go a certain way.
Well, it's funny because we do get these scripts from folks. And what I find when I read them is there's often a lack of authenticity and integrity in them because it's about selling the product versus not even selling. I don't like to. I'm going to say I don't like the word selling. There are a lot of people who don't like that word, but let's face it, we're selling every moment of every day. Whether we're
Yes,
talking to our kids, we're talking to our husbands, we're talking to our
that's
coworkers.
right.
We especially women, we've been selling since we were little kids, wearing the little fluffy underwear that we were that we had on. You know, we're always
That's right.
influencing. I'd rather use the word influencing
Yes.
other people in different ways. But the thing is, when we share what we love authentically and with integrity, it comes out of our pores, does it not?
Yes, indeed. So I love this word influencing that you bring up, because it is about influencing, but it's not about manipulating. It's not the
Exactly.
influence to manipulate, right? And it's to influence, to allow, in my opinion, is to allow someone to enter into a deeper space inside themselves for a deeper why and deeper trust that they can do what they need to do to get where they want to be. Because that's the thing that's holding them back the most, right? There's all those beliefs. And we can't just come out and say, I was just talking with somebody else and they were like, oh yeah, I was at this event and I just asked a question and they're like, well, you need this and this is your belief and that, right? Like we've heard it. Cultism, the manipulation, the criticalness to make somebody feel shame, to bring up shame on purpose, like that is awful and doesn't
And that
belong.
comes up on a lot of different platforms.
Yes, it
That
does.
shaming piece, the judgment piece, the just because you believe something, everybody else has to believe it.
Yes. And I've experienced that in live in person.
Hmm.
I was in a really well-known people doing a 3-day event. And it's not that I didn't learn anything with them. I did learn one thing that was really great, but trying to use their system didn't work. But they
Hmm.
did the shaming and they did it very sneakily. Like it wasn't obvious that it was happening, but I looked around the room and I felt it in myself and I also saw it in other people's eyes. Like,
Hmm.
you know, flesh skin, a kind of a constriction, like, oh, I'm bad if I don't do that. Like there was something going on in the undercurrent. And it happens all the time. I hear it. I hear it. You've heard it.
Yeah.
We know that that can happen. And of course, as heart-centered leaders, we don't want to be doing that to
And
people.
and when you're on stage, eh, it's about, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but when you're on stage and you're speaking from heart, it is important to share the next step of how people can work with you.
Yes.
However, it's about creating an energy where you're not manipulating or talking people into, or shaming, to use your word, to pull that credit card out and have to buy whatever it is. It's about allowing the people in the audience to feel you, sense you, hear you. And then if they want to, go to the back of the room and get involved with what you're doing, great. If not, you left beautiful information for the others for which it's not right at this moment in time.
I agree. Yes, I have experienced all kinds of speakers at the front of the room. I've been a speaker in the front of the room.
Mhm.
And for me, it's absolutely about authenticity and integrity. Like whatever I am saying from the stage, first of all, I have to be honest with myself.
Mhm.
Can I deliver that?
Mhm.
And what are the promises I'm making, right? Really clear on the promises I'm making.
Mhm.
Yeah, like we want to paint the dream that and write and have people get that refreshed so that they feel those good feelings because they a lot of them need to get into that place of hope, but we cannot sell that. We've
Yeah.
got to, right? We've got to make our offers about what the transformation actually is
And it's a
that is going
feeling.
to get them. Often it's a feeling.
It's the
Yes, oh,
feeling.
totally. A feeling and a healing,
That's right.
when
Yes.
we do that conversation well, when we do that presentation well in a live event, it's opening something up. It's allowing
Yeah.
people the opportunity to deeply reflect and say, oh,
Mhm.
wow, there could be an opportunity here for me. This sounds like this could be empowering. And then to help them get to a yes if they're right for it, a yes or a no.
That key, what you just said, if they're right for it. I know that there are a lot of folks out there on stage that all they want is that credit card. They don't care what the financial place is that the person that's giving them the card. And what I will tell you right now, if a person can't afford it, I don't want them in my program, because I will never, ever, ever put someone in a position where they have to pay Peter to pay Paul, rob Peter to pay Paul, whatever it is, that phrase,
Yes,
in order to be able to survive. I mean, there's different ways of working with people. And when you can offer those different ways of working with you, then you're
yes.
helping people on different levels. And one of the things about this industry is there are things that they won't tell you. What is it that you have to tell that you want to share with the new coaches that the industry won't do anything about?
Well, I want to say this first. Like, the industry, like the coaching industry, the certification industry, we can't really blame them for what they haven't taught because that's their focus, right? That's their niche. Their niche is teaching people like how to heal or how to coach. And they don't necessarily have the bandwidth or the resources or the skills to teach that other stuff.
Mhm.
But what would be great is if more people were aware of what it really takes to be an entrepreneur, right? And you said, like, we've been selling since we were little girls. Well, we've got to continue to sell to remain in business. Otherwise, it is not a business, it's a giveaway, it's a nonprofit. And even in a nonprofit, one must sell. I worked for the Hoffman Institute Foundation. They are a nonprofit, fantastic organization, and we enrolled, right? So it's where I did a lot of enrollment conversations, where I learned to deeply listen. This is part of my skill set that I bring to the table. There's a different kind of listening when you're in a sales conversation than when you're coaching someone.
That is exactly right.
Yes. And so what does that mean? And how do you do it? And how do you not over empathize? And how do you not be in pain when you see that the suffering is there and not fix it for them? And I want to just give that as a tip today to everyone who's listening here. The temptation is huge to fix the pain. It's huge. I get it. But if you do that in the coaching, in your sales conversation call, or your discovery call, whatever you are calling it, your breakthrough call, if you heal or fix, you're putting a Band-Aid on a bleeding wound. You're right, and that person will go, oh, I'm okay. I don't really need this now. They do it subconsciously. They may not even know they're right. They're not even aware that they're doing it, and they will not lean in. People who've been in pain for a while, they come to a conversation and there's something driving them. They want to know they can trust someone for the long haul. And if you give them a quick fix, they'll know it's not you. There's just something that happens in the psychology of people. And we want to stay in integrity. So we're not like giving them a fix. So it's like snake oil charmers, right? Oh, I can tell you, this is how you do that. And this is how you do that. And I've done this. I mean, I listened to somebody who was teaching us to do a process in a sales conversation. And all it did was make people less tense about their problem, and they would go away. They'd feel great for about 3 days, and then they would be like in pain again. And they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do now. And they wouldn't think to come back to me. They would think, what's next? And then they're looking at video, or they're distracting, or they're numbing. So we must not do that. We need to hold that line in a compassionate way and continue to be in the conversation. And those skills are very specific. How do you do that? How do you not have the answer and still stay in the conversation? How do you keep the door open to the possibility until someone is a clear no, whether you know they're a no or they know they're a no? How do you do that? And that's what people need to learn.
And this piece that you were just sharing is absolutely huge because I've made that mistake. I have made that mistake
Yeah.
so many times. I've been in business for 40 years. Yes, I have made that mistake, especially, getting into the holistic industry. Was it since 1998? Getting involved with that part of it and then bringing it all back together again to that practical, tactical, and logical side. And you are so right because you do want to fix things, but the key is with coaching is we aren't meant to fix things. We are meant to give our clients, our prospects, I don't even like the word prospects, the person our ideal clients that we haven't enrolled yet. the understanding of the possibilities. Am I right with that? Or
Yes, but they need to feel it. We can't just give them a list. Oh, just
exactly.
send me your a list of what you do. That will never move anybody to actually take action. It's just information. A YouTube video has not ever changed anyone's life for the long haul. If it has, then please tell me. I want to know what video that is, because that sounds amazing. Personal growth is about a process.
It is.
It takes time. It takes consistency of doing it over and over and doing it well over and over. And this is a fact. It is a proven fact that we need to change habits by doing new habits consistently over time. And so if we give an answer, boom, here's what you can do, then the person's like, great. And they go away and they do it once, and then they don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
And the next day, and they fall down again, and you did not make the impact you really came here to make. So you've got to say, what is it I really am going to take a stand for in the world? Okay, this is the thing I'm here for. I want to help with this problem, whether it's health, relationship, soul coaching, whatever it is, and stay in that commitment to holding the door open without instant band-aids.
Yeah.
It just
So I'm
isn't going to
curious,
happen.
Tessa, how would you handle somebody who comes up to you and says, I hear so much about your work, blah, blah, blah. Can you give me a taster of what your work so that I can understand it? Because especially in the healing industry, in the holistic field, a lot of people don't understand energy. They don't understand the emotional baggage that they're carrying it can actually influence their poor health, this kind of stuff. And it can be very challenging to explain this to someone. They
Yes, it doesn't work. I've done it. From MLMs, like selling essential oils even, it doesn't work to try and explain the product or the process or
exactly,
the
it
tip
doesn't
or why
work.
it
They
works.
want to feel it. They want to experience it.
Yes.
So how do you
And
not do that in the sales
well,
process?
one of my first rules of communication is when somebody asks a question, is I don't have to give an immediate answer or an explanation.
Mm.
Instead, I can ask more questions. Oh, that sounds like, whatever it is. So there's not a script for it. It's
Right.
a way of communicating, and I role play and do these sorts of things
And
with my
ask lots of
clients.
open-ended questions.
Yes, ask a question. Oh, it sounds like that would be important for you. What's going on in your life? Like, what are you trying to solve? Or get in a conversation,
Hmm.
first of all, without saying, here's what I do, because it just never, ever works. I can guarantee it.
It
And
doesn't.
yeah. And then make an invitation for something they can do to get to know you better and start to learn. So, I have a free gift, or one of the things that I talk about in my emails or on my blog or on my podcast is this very issue, and it's a complex issue. I'd love for you, would you like to listen to the podcast? I'm happy to give you the link for that. Do you use an Apple phone or are you on Android? What do you, right? Like, be in the conversation. Don't try to rush it or feel like you have to give an answer. We're not in school. This is
Hmm.
not eighth grade, and your hands aren't going to get smacked if you're like really old school by a ruler, you
That
know.
it's by the nun.
Yeah, like I know that's illegal now, but you know, that feeling is still there. Like I'm supposed to answer, or I'm going to be shamed, or I'm wrong, or I am after all in the healing business. I'm just supposed to blah. But no, it doesn't work. Instead, find out more. Get to know that person.
Yeah.
Listen, understand them better, and then you can better respond with what might really be the next best step for them at this time.
And it really is about the listening, is it not?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Listening and good questions. Yeah.
So Tessa, we're coming to the end of our time. Can you share one golden nugget for our audience that they can take away with them?
Yes, wow, we covered so much. Let's see
We
what
did.
I would like to leave with them today. I want you to be really honest with yourself about what you offer. What specifically is the transformation? And then once you know that for sure, I want you to get excited about it and confident about it. Because when you're in that space, then it's easier to be in the space of discomfort. So I want you to not give up, all right? If you're out there and you're an emerging coach, or maybe you've been doing this 5 years and just giving all your money away, and you're like, how am I going to keep going? I got to take a part-time job. Like, don't give up yet. Reflect in a different way, because sales, receiving money is an art and a science and a strategy technique. You
Yeah.
want to start to see a bigger picture. This is probably more complicated tip at the end here, but
No, it's absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to add one more thing to what you just said.
yes,
Patience.
yes,
I just heard this very recently. When you engage with someone, it they will research you in 7 different places, uh, they 4 different locations, and it will take 11 touches. So it's about patience and follow-up.
a lot of time, patience and follow up. Find a way to stay connected with people that are interested in the things that you offer. Invite them in and don't ignore them, right? Oh, they liked me. They're now a friend on Facebook. Do what you can to engage with them now and then, and help them come into your world. If they are going to learn from you, they'll start to trust you. That they need to know you are trustworthy, and you've got to prove it, frankly. But you
You do.
can't prove it, right, by just talking about it. You've got to show up for it over and over and over.
Well, Tessa, this has been an amazing conversation. Sales is one of those topics in business that um, can be a real trigger point for entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And the way you present it is absolutely brilliant. So thank you so much for sharing your truth, your wisdom, and the shift that brought you here. I think it's absolutely great. Now, do you have a free gift, or is there anything you want to offer the audience?
Yes, I want people to go to withtessa.com, and they're going to find good things there. All right. There's going to be good stuff for them.
We'll have that underneath the
Yes, in the show notes.
video.
If people want to connect with me, they can also go to Facebook or LinkedIn, Tessa Alburn. But the withtessa.com is going to have my latest offerings, gifts, ways to get started on this stuff that is there for everybody. Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, folks, if this episode resonated with you, take a moment, please, to reflect what shift is intuitively calling out to you right now. You don't have to navigate it alone. You don't have to navigate the sales place alone. Tessa can help you with all of that. And if you like this and you want more, please subscribe to Shiftology Live on your favorite platform. And if you're ready to reconnect with your intuition, your purpose, and your inner power, join me in the Prosperity Power Network on Facebook or on LinkedIn. It's Terry Wildemann. Look me up. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, keep honoring your intuitive heart. Tessa, thank
Yes.
you again. And have your best day ever.
Thank you.